Hey everyone, it's Steven with Rover here, and today we're going to be looking at a design tutorial for creating some cards for an aquarium experience. We actually have written about a use case for an aquarium on our blog and website about how to do a beacon installation at an aquarium, but this video is just going to be looking at how to create some of the design templates that we showed in there. So you can see I have my designs here in Sketch. I have these animal cards that are going to deliver information about the animals and tips and tricks to find them when you're looking in the tanks. And what I want to do is create a template that will allow me to add a whole bunch of different animals without having to use different templates. I'll be doing that by slicing my assets like this. So you can see my turtle here, he has a transparent background, and then I have a kind of generic underwater background that can be used for all of them. So let's start authoring, and I can explain how this will all come together. We'll go into our Rover Admin console. I've already created a tropical oceans touchpoint. This would be, think of this as like the one large section in the aquarium where they have all these different fish. And I've got a couple pieces of content there already, but I want to add my turtle. So let's call him a sea turtle. Got my blank card. Let's start adding my content as we normally do. First, I'll start with my image. I have an image here. And let's add our text. Let me copy and paste this from Sketch. The content here is actually giving users a sort of a tip or trick for how to find the turtle. We tell them that, oh, just look up above. He's probably hanging out on one of his favorite little rocky ledges. So this is a really good example of how you can use beacon content to give information to your visitors that, maybe only a tour guide would know or they could offer. Lastly, we'll add our button, which is going to say more about sea turtles, and we're good. So I'm going to save that. And I've already created an aquarium theme, so let's put that in there. I've already done a little bit of the type styling, those kind of things, but what I want to focus on is how we're going to make this guy look like he's underwater. So what we want to do is edit the theme. Let me just save that again and get into our theme. So the biggest thing that we need to do on here is use a background image for the entire card. And that's going to be the underwater one I just showed you. So let's upload that. And you're probably thinking, okay, but I don't really see it. And that's because right now all these blocks are either have a 100% opacity color, or you can see the image is filling the entire space. So let's first go to the image, and we're going to want to put a little bit of padding on the right and left. You'll see what that does in 2 seconds. So let's do 20 and 20. You can see here that now there's padding on either side, but there's still a color. So I'm going to need to take that color down to 0. And now we can start to see the kind of watery effect in the background. Then next, let's go to our text box. What I want to do here is create a transparent background color. And great, we can already start to see the background. Now, what I want to do here is make all my text white, of course, so you can actually read the copy. And the last one here, great. And it's kind of nice to sometimes leave your paragraph at a slightly lowered opacity. I find it creates a nice little subtle difference between the two. So you can see I have that done. Now the other thing I've done previously was taken my padding between the top of my copy box here and the image down just a bit, because since we're going to have transparent PNGs that don't extend to the very bottom, you probably want to tighten that gap. I might even take it down to 5. So let me save that, and I'll jump back out into my tropical oceans touchpoint. Let's actually just turn him on first. And you can see he's there. Can you spot Gus? And what I might do is even tighten up the sizing on him just a little bit here. There we go. So you can see now that I've got my turtle in place. And the really neat thing about this is I can use any transparent PNG image on top of this, and it's going to have that nice kind of underwater look and feel. Just to show that, I'll go back out into my other creatures, and so you can see that I have a clownfish, I have a lionfish, and again, if we just look into these guys, it's all sort of the same idea, just using a transparent PNG on a background. Now, the one thing I do want to show is how we can author the full screen detail content. So you just do that by clicking open that second kind of phone to your right here, and it pulls in the full screen. And I want to make this some more information about a sea turtle. And I'll just sort of put in some, I'll leave the dummy content so you get an idea. You know, sometimes you might want to use the Latin name of it and put that in a nice kind of HT style. And what we can do here is add a second image. And what's really nice about how this works is you can use a totally different image. So here I have another image of a turtle, and I want him to actually appear above. So I'm just going to click my arrow here to move him up. And so you can see now that it's a really rich way to add a whole bunch of different images. So you're not just stuck using the same assets you have over here. You can make a totally differently styled card. So yeah, that's how we've created a reusable, templatable creature card for an aquarium. You can add tons of creatures using just the same template. This is going to be really easy for your content management team to keep adding new things without having to keep bugging you as the designer to, oh, we need this new card. How can you do the design for it? They can just reuse the template. So I hope that helped. And if you have any questions or comments, totally feel free, leave them in the YouTube comments or hit us up on our Twitter. We also have our Facebook. And yeah, again, let us know what type of design tutorials you'd like to see in the future. Thanks for watching.